The Titleist GT2, the Callaway Elite driver, the Ping G440 driver, the TaylorMade QI35. Of all these big, huge brand name drivers, two drivers are on the comments the most in YouTube videos and forums around the world. It is, of course, the brand new Takomo Ignis D1 driver and the COSTCO Kirkland signature driver. The reason for this is that golf's getting far too expensive and both these drivers offer something totally different and, let's face it, a cut price instead of these big names. Guys, today we're going to test these out here in the golf course and of course in the studio, see which one performs best, which one you should be buying. Should you go to the Takomo website and splash your cash with the guys from Finland, or should you go to COSTCO, buy some toilet roll, some toothpaste, a kid's bike randomly, a Spider-Man bike, which I'm going to get Billy for Christmas, and then a new 10.5 degree driver together with a carbon fibre crown? Let's find out. So we're going to have a little bit of a straight up match play comparison with this COSTCO driver and of course the 2025 Takomo, because I think golf has got too expensive. I think golf clubs shouldn't cost 500, 600, even 700 pounds. We get premium components in both these drivers. We get a carbon crown on both of them. And yes, the Takomo does have that interchangeable weighting system, but we've got it set on the standard weight with the heavy weight right at the back, which is where the only weight in this COSTCO driver is. So let's hit one down this fifth hole. Quite a tight driving hole, a very difficult tee shot. Lovely glossy looking carbon crown here on the COSTCO. Can we play a bit of a draw? It's not a draw, it's leaking slightly. That's just going to be in the right hand rough. It's okay, it's fine, it's going to be an okay playing shot. Now, the Takomo is a tiny bit more than the COSTCO, but I think Takomo are making leaps and bounds within the golfing market, within the golfing society of people, because we all know the name Takomo now. 3-4 years ago, nobody knew the name Takomo, nobody knew the guys from Finland, nobody knew that you could buy, let's face it, D2C affordable golf clubs and save yourself some money. Now I think like everybody, especially with the marketing they are doing with the likes of the Brian Bros and Grant Horvat and everybody else, but none of them actually use this driver yet. So is it any good? I've got a Venter shaft in here, which does come as standard. Can we go one up on the COSTCO? That's a lovely tee shot. That's actually a draw. I've been trying to hit a draw all year, and that's done exactly what I want it to. That's definitely a fairway hit for Takomo, so that's a tick in the box already. Has it gone any further than the COSTCO? Because we all want that driver that goes the furthest and gives us more bang for buck. This could get interesting. So everyone, do me a favour, get in the comments below and let me know, where do you buy your golf clubs from and how often do you buy them? Do you go to your local PGA Pro? Do you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, American Golf? Do you go to COSTCO and then when the missus or the husband goes and does all the boring stuff, do you go and look at the golf stuff? Because we literally went to COSTCO the other day and Laura was looking for like baby wipes and other crap that you just buy in bulk that you probably don't need. Now it's straight to the golf. I was like, oh, they've still got the driver in. Even though I've got one, and I was like, yeah, literally this is me, yeah. But I'm just a golf nut, I suppose. Is it just me? And I do think golf is in a better place, not just because of the guys at Takomo, not just because what COSTCO have been doing. Obviously COSTCO have had issues with lawsuits because of the irons, and I believe they had a problem with the ball as well at some point. I do believe they took a little bit of inspiration for this driver from the Titleist TS2, TSR2, TSI2, but that's not a bad thing. I think as long as, they haven't just stone cold copied it, have they? Stone cold enter now. Anyway, but I do also believe that because of what's happening with this golfing market, the bigger brands are being forced to kind of up the game a little bit. I kind of wish they'd be forced to lower the price instead of up the game, but I do think with some of the big brands, like I've done a comparison today with the Takomo and a TaylorMade QI35, for example, the forgiveness factor is there, like it's very prominent. The forgiveness factor on the TaylorMade, you can tell like more's going into the R&D, which means it's going to be more cost and things like that, but then more goes into the marketing, doesn't it, as well? I'm going towards the Takomo because, oh my lord, look where the COSTCO is. So the Takomo is here. Like we've just missed the centre line by like 8 feet, something like that. COSTCO must have actually either took a kick or caught a branch because it's a long way back there in the rough. The big thing here is if one of them's really easier to keep in play, no driver is easy, no golf club is, nothing is easy to keep in play when it comes to a golf ball, is it? But if one of them is that little bit easier, like we get a decent shaft in both these. I've got a Ventus in the Takomo, and we've got a, what have we got in the COSTCO? I'm sure it's a Boom even flow Riptide. So it's not a bad shaft. I mean, it's not a great shaft. It's a little bit naff, but it's not too bad. I actually put an upcharge shaft in the COSTCO. It didn't make a huge difference. So I'm babbling on now. Let's continue. We'll talk numbers as this video goes on, and we'll see which is the best budget driver of the year in terms of these two lightweight, heavyweight, medium, featherweights. Okay, it definitely hit a tree. It definitely hit a tree. Wow. All's forgiven for that. Okay, so nudging a couple of drivers down a tight par 4 is all good and well, but what about when you need, that really hurt my head, when you need distance? You want to hit this ball as far as physically possible. We're on a par 5, we want to try and attack it into. Can you do that with a budget driver? Now, I've tested drivers like this enough to know, yes, you can, but which one's going to be best in this category? Should you spend that little bit more on the Takomo, where you can see you can change one of those 3 weights or even all those 3 weights to suit your eye the best? You can also change the loft on both these drivers. That's what I think is so special about them both. They're both fantastic options with that element of adjustability. There's no adjustability with the weighting on the Kirkland, but I mean, come on, like realistically, how much can we expect for this price bracket? I believe you can buy both of these drivers for the price of a Ping or a TaylorMade or a Titleist or even a Callaway. Not that you'd want them both, but we'll go with it. Right, we'll go to Takomo first because we hit Kirkland first last time. That lovely little low spin draw would be a nice one down here, into the wind a little bit, and this is again where more budget orientated drivers could struggle just because of that kind of wind. If we get a 3,000, 3,200 spin rate here, it's really going to rob us of some distance, so we need to try and keep this ball flight down if we can. I love the shape of the Takomo. It's like a really weird elongated heel, which I do like the look of. Oh, it's just left. It's going to be okay. It's going to be in the rough, and I think I'd rather hit that ball flight on this hole and not lose kind of 20 or 30 yards potentially, because if I was to hit like a really nice straight looking shot, but it'd be a bit heely, a bit low out the face, it balloon up, I'm going to be like miles behind, and I don't mind being in the slight rough. So it's 2 powerful ball flights so far with the Takomo. Totally different look on the top of the COSTCO, a more shiny finish. Oh, James. It's a very similar shot to the first one I hit, and that was high toe, so that's actually rescued it quite a lot from being even shorter. That's a shame, but it kind of is what it is. I tried to put the same swing on there, feel like they were quite similar, just misstruck. In fact, you can see the strike locations are pretty similar, high toe, maybe just left the face open just a touch on that COSTCO. Are those weights on the Takomo helping me there by keeping that face more stable throughout impact maybe than the Kirkland, with its inertia generating, whatever we can call that? We can't look, you can, like, quite similar on the bottom, aren't they, with those little kind of slides down the bottom to help generate inertia, I think. I don't think I can say that. I'm not going to say that. We'll leave it in, but I don't mean it. It's allegedly. Okay, so we have the Takomo here in the left-hand rough down the par 5. We've blocked out a little bit, but we're down there okay for distance. Now, the Kirkland is bang on line with that bunker there. You can just see the top of the ball, so it's further to right. It's not done too bad for distance, actually. I did feel like the Takomo was a much more penetrating ball flight. We're probably talking 10 maybe 15 yards maximum there. It's going to see exactly where that is, and I can show you in relation, but realistically, when we talk numbers for this, you might start to see a little bit of a similarity thing. So you can see as we drive across and we veer backwards, that is where the COSTCO finished. So yeah, probably more like 15 yards compared to where we were just down over there near that tree. Much better line in though from here, if we're being picky. So when I had both these drivers in the studio, it was really interesting because I hit some really good shots, and to be honest, some pretty average drives as well. Now when it came to the Takomo driver, I felt like when I got it a little bit high toe, I could drag that spin rate down. I could get it in the kind of 2000s and get it going around that kind of 270 mark. that I do like. I even got a couple over 280 yards. Now, forgiveness-wise with the Takomo, it is good, but I don't think it's quite as forgiving as some of the more expensive drivers. I would love to see a low spin element of this head. And then when we moved into the COSTCO head, you'll see that it's a very, very similar story. If I can drag that spin rate down, get it to around 2,000, it's going to pitch around that 270 yards mark, and again, release up. I did hit more wayward shots with the Kirkland than I did the Takomo. I do feel like that three-way weighting with the Takomo can potentially stabilise it a little bit for that left to right dispersion. So two very enjoyable drivers, two very, very affordable drivers. Should we see some low spin ones come in next year? Maybe. Okay, so this next hole is a totally different beast. We are uphill and downwind. Let's see if we can launch these two drivers up into orbit. I mean, there's so many to go at, isn't there? You look at all those. We've got the Vice in there, we've got Titleist TaylorMade, we've got Wilson PXG. So many drivers you can get. The big question probably is, could you just get better second hand maybe? Like for the 319? What are you getting for 319? Comment below, would you go second hand or would you go one of these two? Okay, we'll go COSTCO first this time, primarily because it's alphabetical order. That's literally the levels that we're at, because I could have like got some kind of magic wheel or something, but that's not really me. We're going to hit these as hard as we physically can. We've spoke some numbers and we've seen kind of where maybe the market is, but this all comes down to this. Should you go COSTCO or should you go Takomo? I've hit that so hard and it's just gone right again. Oh, like the strike is good. The strike, whenever I've reviewed the COSTCO, I want it here. I want it in high toe. But today it just doesn't want to square up at all. Yes, that's going to be me. I know, like, it doesn't turn into a bad driver overnight. I'm well aware of that. But I do feel like if I try to really go at it, or if I try to do anything with it at the moment, it just wants to go right. 3 right shots in a row. Now, Takomo, Lampkin grip Ventus shaft. Fairway and you probably win it. That's the same. They're both exactly the same. Both exactly the same strike. A really good comparison here because they're two bang average golf swings. I'm not going to say that the people who are buying these drives are going to be bang average golfers like me, obviously like I am. But if you want to save money, which one's the most forgiving? Because they're identical shots. I must admit, on the basis of this test, I think I'd be happy with either of these drivers and the price they've cost, because the quality of golf swing I'm putting on these clubs, some of it's been okay. I've hit some good shots, and it was the same inside. Like I'm not swinging well at the moment, and that's feels like I've been saying that all year, to be honest. But we can all resonate with that. I think that's just golf, isn't it? So I would not like to think I've spent £650, £700 on a driver to hit it like I've just hit those ones there. Which one is going to be the more forgiving one? I think, I don't know actually. They were both as bad as each other though. As long as we're past these bushes, then we're okay. The Takomo here and the COSTCO there, which may well have caught them in fairness. But guys, if you've enjoyed that, please hit that subscribe button below. Lots more content to come, and throw a like on this video. But if not, see you all at the same time tomorrow.